called American Head. Seeing fresh human blood in a big amount is always a little bit shocking. Imagine seeing that the first time that you did acid. Whatever anxiety people feel when they talk about an acid flashback, I'm feeling it a little bit right now. We're going way back to when I was 16 years old in 1977. This is my first time. I think most of the people that I was around probably thought this was my 100th time. And even though I'm just 16 years old, I mean, everybody back then from the time they were like 10 or 11 would take acid all the time. I'm with a group of people and they're all getting ready to take it, and they kind of say, they give me one. I just take it. And we were just walking around. I remember feeling the wind, you know, like blow through me, and we all laughed about that, and I felt like, hey, this is laughing. This is, but then there'd be other times when I would just feel like I'm just barely holding on, and I kind of wish that it was going to be over. And at some point, it's 5 or 6 in the morning. I guess this is really where it goes bad for me, because everybody wants to get something to eat, and I know that there's a drive-through just up the street from my apartment, and we all get in the car, and of course I'm driving, even though I shouldn't be driving. They're all kind of coming down, and they're hungry and sort of feeling like, hey man, let's get something to eat, and then we'll go home and go to sleep. But I'm still kind of in the nether zone of this being exhausted, and moments are happy, but a lot of moments are terrified. But as we got closer to the window, we were going to exchange some money, and he was going to give us the food. I could see, you know, a car or two ahead of me. I could see some commotion, some dudes. When they pulled up here, they tried to grab the cash register. Oh my gosh, this is insane. You know, the cash registers, they're like bolted down. You can't just grab it and, you know, take the whole cash register with you. And the window is all demolished. Somehow the glass cuts the guy's wrist. Like, I don't know if you've seen blood like from an artery. It's like it flies out. This is in 1977. This is long before people would handle human blood like a strange substance, okay? Like now, you know, if someone bleeds somewhere in public, a Black Hawk helicopter flies in and they cover it and no one can look at it or touch it. It's like off limits. Well, back then, it was just blood. Just a few minutes later, they're like, oh, well, business as usual. Can I take your order? And I pull up and we hand him the money, but at the same time, he's still wiping up with a dish rag. I'm already on the terrifying up and down, a lot of anxiety, acid trip. And there's cars ahead of me, there's cars behind me. Nobody cares. The sun is starting to come up. I remember the pink sun coming up behind me and seeing all this fresh and slightly coagulated blood and him smearing the blood. I mean, to him, it's just another night at the drive-thru. He hands me the cheeseburgers. Here's your fucking cheeseburgers, through the broken glass and the blood. And I remember everybody looking in their bags like normal, like, well, did I get what I wanted? Did I get what I wanted? I remember looking in the bag and the French fries are wiggling around, you know, and the pink sun is coming up. The blood is just right there. And I think at one point I just kind of gave up. You just want to shut off and wish that you could fall asleep. But you know, you can't, and part of your mind is flying at 1 billion miles an hour, and part of it is just completely drained, you know. I don't remember falling asleep, but I remember the next day waking up and in my mind thinking, why would I ever want to do that? There's a lot of great advice all through this, but one of the things that I learned for sure, and I never did it again, I never ordered cheeseburgers by LSD ever again.